let me tell you how wonderful this country is. I don't care what's going on in the country. This is a wonderful country. I and the beauty of this moment, me being invited here, looking at all your faces, all different races sitting here together, serving one God. That's all that matters. The one God that we serve. The reason I brought that up is because here was an army base that was established 20 years after the abolishment of slavery. That was once a Confederate army base that I now own. I mean, the miracle in that alone. The miracle in that alone. Some of these houses were built in the 1800s, and President Roosevelt stayed there, Colin Powell stayed there, and we were doing some cleanup on one of them. They're beautiful houses, but some of them had some asbestos, so we brought in an asbestos team to remove it. And we had, after they left out, my cleaning crew went in from the studio, and they moved this cabinet that had been there for many, many years, and something fell out. It was a letter. They brought the letter to me, and I started reading it. When I read it, I got tears in my eyes, because what I realized is that this letter was written to me. But the letter was written October 29th, 1969, by a 13-year-old boy in Atlanta, Georgia. He goes on to tell all these stories in the letter. He's writing about where he's come from, the country's at war, Nixon is the president. He's saying all this stuff, but there's one line that really caught my attention. He said, "I know this sounds silly, but I've always wanted to write a letter to the future." So he wrote the letter October 29, 1969. Well, I was born September 14, 1969. So I'd only been on the planet 6 weeks. I'm there in my mother's arms in New Orleans, and there's a little 13-year-old boy at Fort McPherson Army Base in Atlanta writing a letter to the future that I would find 48 years later. And I realized I am the future that he was writing to. And it came at a time when I was going through some things and I had to make some decisions about the studio, and it blew my mind, because there I was in this moment understanding that God had already ordained this even before I got to the planet. It was so powerful, so wonderful. And I just felt so blessed and so fortunate. I still have a letter, and I have it framed. And every time I'm going through something, or dealing with something, I walk past it, and I'm reminded, God's got it. God's got it. Everything's all right. God's got it. Yeah.
That's so good.